What's going on, guys? Hope everybody's out there staying high speed and motivated and accomplishing their goals, whatever they may be. I've got some breaking news, like hot off the press news for you guys. I just got this in my hands like 5 minutes ago, and shout out to the guy that sent this out to me on Instagram. This is the Army Directive 2025-06 covering the Army Fitness Test. It is going to be the new Army Fitness Test of record that is going to be replacing the Army Combat Fitness Test on June 1st of 2025. So just a couple months from today, not even a couple months, like a month and some change. So I'm going to try to go over this with you and give you all the information I possibly can that's going to be extracted from this directive, from this memo, right? And this is all I know so far, okay? So I'm going to tell you that there's going to be a little bit of gaps. Okay, there's going to be some things that you're going to want to know in the future, and I'm going to keep my eyes and ears open for you on that, but I want to be able to give you as much information as possible, as timely as possible, so that you can stay prepared and you have the information that you need to have, right? So here we go. So according to this directive, like I said, the ACFT will be replaced on 1 June 2025, and the new test of record will be called the AFT, the Army Fitness Test. All right, until the end of May, if you have an ACFT on record, that will still remain as your record PT test. Okay, and that serves for all purposes, whether you're looking at promotion, for military schools, things like that. Okay, it says right here, a record ACFT taken before 31 May will be valid for promotion until 30 September 2025. Okay, so you're not going to have to take an AFT right away or anything like that. If you have one valid before 31 May, an ACFT, the fitness test that's current, you'll be good until 30 September. That's the end of the fiscal year, okay? That's why it is the 30th of September, I'm sure. But after that, 1st of October, fiscal year 2026, you will have to have an AFT on record in order to be eligible for promotion. Okay, now, that's really important to know, so I put that up right up front, and it was right up front on the memo. Now, what is the AFT as opposed to the ACFT? Well, it's not really much different as far as events go, okay? But I think you're gonna like this. I mean, I'm pretty excited about it, so obviously you can't tell. So the AFT design. The AFT comprises of 5 events. It's gonna be the max deadlift, the hand release push-up, the sprint drag carry, the plank, and a 2-mile run, okay? That's all the events minus the standing power throw. I'm super pumped about that because that is the only events during the ACFT that I personally have a hard time maxing. I know that's the same for a lot of you out there, okay, and a lot of other soldiers. I know that the standing power throw is kind of like, what are we even doing with the standing power throw? That's just a silly event. It shouldn't be the reason that you don't get a 600 on the ACFT. They've nixed that completely, so I guess they just realized it's kind of a silly event. Now, I don't know what the new grading criteria will be. I don't know if like any of these, I don't know if like the max standard for the deadlift's going to change. I don't know if the plank time standard is going to change. God, I hope it does. But those are the events that we know so far. Now, some other changes that I think you guys will be happy about. You let me know in the comments what you think about this. The AFT is going to have 2 different versions of testing, okay? One is going to be the combat standard, and one is going to be the general standard. Anybody that holds an MOS that is outside of a combat MOS will fall into the general standard of testing criteria, right? So the combat standard is going to be a sex-neutral and age-normed test, okay? And soldiers serving in combat specialties must achieve a minimum of 60 points per event and an overall minimum score of 350. All right, now if they don't, according to this and this information, then they may face reclassification. That's pretty serious, right? So that's why it's like a combat standard. It is serious. You have to be able to meet this test. Don't know what the grading criteria looks like, other than that it will be a sex neutral and age norm test, meaning it doesn't matter your gender. There won't be differences in testing based on gender, but there will be different bracketing based on your age, okay? And the MOS list, I won't read them all to you, but it's basically all the 11 series, the 12 series, 13 series, SF, 18 series, and the 19 series MOSs. That's what they have listed here. Those are all the combat MOSs that are going to have to test against the new AFT combat standard test, okay? Now, all the other MOSs, they will take the general standard, and it is going to be, the general standard is performance normed by sex and age. So when I read that, that tells me that it will still have different criteria based on your gender and your age, okay? And that's for all the other MOSs that fall outside of those listed combat MOSs. So as far as how often you're going to have to take it, it doesn't look to me, I'm not going to read through the whole thing, but reading through it already, it doesn't look to me like there's going to be any major changes as far as how frequently you'll have to take the test, how it will be administered, things like that, as opposed to the ACFT, okay? Very similar as far as how many times you'll have to take it. It looks like if you fail an AFT, then you will have 90 days to pass it again. So all the administrative stuff looks very similar. Even the permanent profile stuff, it all looks very similar to the ACFT stuff. So nothing too much to report there. But yeah, so that's coming. The AFT is replacing the ACFT on June 1st is the official day, okay? And again, if you have an ACFT on record, as far as promotion goes, you're good until the end of the fiscal year, which is the day before October 1st, so the end of September, okay? So very important things to remember. It's really awesome. I think that they're getting rid of the standing power throw. I've been really hoping that we would see something like that in the near future, and it looks like it's coming faster than we could have ever anticipated. I think this new administration is serious about PT and changing up, re-solidifying standards in the Army, especially when it comes to combat MOSs, right? And I think we're just going to keep seeing things coming down the line fast and furious. And you guys know, I'm a big proponent for making sure that the information gets to you guys as fast as possible and it comes to you in a correct way, okay? So I just got this. Couldn't wait to share it with you. I know that was fast and furious, but I wanted to let you know. Please let me know what you think about all of this. Please let me know what kind of questions you have, because that's going to drive my research going forward. I'll do the research and I'll give you guys the information as fast as possible so that you guys can stay informed. But that is the breaking news, guys. Again, this is the Army Directive 2025-06 Army Fitness Test. You can look it up. You can find it. It's a pretty good read, all right? It's just a 3-page memo, no big deal, but it gives you the right information. Hope you guys are excited as I am for the news. And besides that, I've got nothing else for you. I will see you on the next one.